Veins of the Veiled, Episode 3, The Goddess Code. Once the world was shaped by her. Across continents, across eras, women held positions of power, guidance, and spiritual authority. Matriarchal cultures were not myths, they were real, leaving traces in law, architecture, and ritual. At the center of this world stood the sacred feminine, known by hundreds of names: Tanit, Isis, Inanan, Ishtar, Astarte, Shakti. Over 100 identities, each reflecting the same principle repeated across geography and time. The goddess was not passive. She guided cycles of life, birth, and death. She informed the alignment of temples, the geometry of sacred spaces, the placement of altars and mosaics. Her presence was encoded in symbols, crescents, circles, spirals, that survived long after her voice was minimized in historical narratives. Each symbol carried meaning for those who could see it, a visual code pointing to wisdom and understanding. Take, for example, the fleur de lis. Translated word for word, it means flower of the bed. 2 letters altered, and yet its meaning remains embedded, persistent, deliberate. When I look at the symbol, I see more than a stylized flower. I see a woman's hips, her stomach, her womb. I see the convergence of all 3 parts moving through the ring as one. A visual metaphor for birth, for life emerging, for continuity preserved in form. Symbols like these were never decorative alone. They were encoded, teaching those who could interpret them, embedding the sacred feminine into culture in ways that outlasted overt recognition. Tanit, worshipped in Carthage, is only one thread in a wider tapestry. Across the Mediterranean, Africa, Asia, and the Americas, her echoes appear in temples, carvings, and legends. Each culture preserved a piece of a shared memory, a pattern hinting that human consciousness, nature, and the cosmos were deeply intertwined. Alignments were intentional. Temples pointed to solstices, equinoxes, or precession markers. Geometry was sacred. The goddess was intelligence mapped in stone and stone mapped in the sky. And yet her presence was suppressed. As patriarchal systems rose, the goddess was reframed, her temples abandoned or reinterpreted, her symbols minimized. Authority favored linear narratives of singular male divinity. But the patterns persisted. Symbols repeated, geometry endured, alignments remained. The sacred feminine survived not through acknowledgement, but through persistence, waiting for those who could see beyond what history attempted to overwrite. Symbols carry knowledge: the crescent, the orb, the spiral, Venus, the fleur de lis, each a deliberate signpost, a coded record of understanding. Across cultures, these forms reoccur, echoing the same principle: life, creation, connection. The goddess was both literal and symbolic. She taught, guided, and embedded wisdom into the structures of civilization itself. Understanding her is not about worship alone. It is about tracing intention. By observing alignments, decoding geometry, and interpreting symbols, we see a knowledge system designed to survive beyond the reach of authority. Every erasure, misattribution, or reinterpretation signals the tension between knowledge and power. Her story is embedded not only in texts, but in the landscape, in the symbols, in the forms quietly persisting. We are invited to follow these threads, to measure, to observe, to connect patterns across civilizations. The sacred feminine never truly disappeared. She was preserved, hidden in plain sight, waiting for those capable of noticing the geometry of birth, the encoded rhythms, the convergence of life, mind, and cosmos. The lesson is profound. Knowledge endures when it is encoded, even in the face of suppression. Patterns persist across millennia. Symbols speak louder than texts. Alignments endure when stories are rewritten. The goddess survives as code, an enduring invitation to understand cycles of life, consciousness, and creation itself. When we trace her lines, measure her angles, and observe her symbols, including the fleur de lis and its quiet literal reminder of birth, we are participating in her intelligence. We reclaim knowledge that was intentionally obscured. The goddess is more than myth. She is the architecture of understanding, a statue of liberty. And in her enduring presence, she asks us, are we willing to see, to measure, and to think beyond the narratives we have inherited?